Now we cheers. Because I have an idea for what I want to do with this one.
Oh. That felt very natural.
Well, it's the idea is that it won't be natural.
Well, it's not. So
Because what I wanted to do is cut. I want it to follow us both and then go off separately.
Okay.
Tricky.
Okay. You do you, boo.
There you go. I'll hide that though.
Well, then what am I going to look at? Ugh.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. So I guess start with the update.
Mm-hmm.
What day are we in?
I
Gaming
don't
month.
know. What is today? Friday. Today's Friday. We're a week and 2 days in.
A week and 2 days in. And I've been here for what? Like 2 weeks?
So 9 days. So you've been here almost 2 weeks. Just short of 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And since last time we've played significantly less. Warzone.
Yeah, I feel like today was the first day since last time that we've played it properly.
So what have we been doing instead? What have you been doing?
I've been living on the old laptop, making some music.
Mm-hmm.
Pumped out a couple songs, which is pretty nice.
A lot of new songs.
Yeah, 2 like complete songs though.
Yeah.
Like I pumped out like a beat, but it needs some stuff over the top. But like the other ones are like complete, kind of. They're finished, all mixed, all that, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas other things I've made is just like a chord progression or a melody or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas those are actually like pretty
Pretty
can't
good.
even do that.
Whereas I've dabbled in the music too.
Mm-hmm.
Hardly, because I don't have the software, because I don't own it.
Yeah.
I can't reopen files, so I literally just make a melody, if that, and then that's the day done.
Yeah, I feel like the most you've really done is you've made a melody which is always synthy bass every single time, and then you make a really off-kilter drum beat on it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's never anything, just, hey.
It's exactly the music I'd listen to.
Yeah. Which,
Beautiful.
I mean, you do you, boo.
And but the main focus for me has been the last video.
Yeah.
The only video.
The only video.
Which we put out this morning. I probably edited for a total of 9 hours, which is a massive step up from 1 hour tops. And it was literally just learning how to motion track, the most scuffed motion tracking. Because I'll just explain it to you as a way of explaining it.
Well, I don't understand what you're talking about, so it's perfect.
All right, I'll tell you. So you have the whole video, and usually all I would do is go through and take out So I just clip it.
Oh, this is for the other things you've made.
Yeah. I'd take out video and audio, and I would just, every time I say
Uh-huh.
This time I didn't do that. Instead, I did motion tracking every time we take a drink, which is a couple times, and whenever like I move a hand or something. And it was hilarious because it took me maybe the first 3 hours was just trying to figure out how to do it, because the software I use, because I have Filmora 9, doesn't have motion tracking. So you have to do panning and cropping. And the problem with that is whenever you make a cut and you crop down, the next, immediately after the slice, it's not cropped. So you have to find the exact pixel that your screen was zoomed in onto, and you have to know the exact size that you zoomed it down to.
Okay.
And so the pain in the ass thing is you have to... So like I'm using the corners of these things as like the center and corner of the
as
screen.
your reference points, pretty much.
As the reference points.
Okay.
And it got smoother and smoother as going along, but the way it worked was I had to do I did the whole video with like 6 crops, and the first 3 were absolute trash, because you'd zoom in and then it would go from zooming in to immediately teleporting like a few inches over, and it's like trying to watch an action film, which for a podcast is not the T.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I understood maybe 40% of what you just said.
Fantastic. Well, we can cut it.
And then of that 40% that I understood, I wasn't listening. So...
That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so that's editing.
Actually, the other thing we've been doing,
Okay.
going outside.
Holy crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a wild ride that's been.
So maintaining social distance,
Uh-huh.
but there's a park down the road.
Yeah.
So we've just been going out there, running, just exercising, and just kind of lying down outside.
Yeah, last time I didn't exercise at all. I just had a half nap in the grass.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so about it. It's, just being cooped up in here for so long is like, just being outside was so good.
Well, because honestly, the day before, because we started doing that 2 days ago, the day before that, it was the lowest mood. The first time the whole isolation thing for Gaming Month the gimmick had worn out, and it was truly boring.
Yeah, and that was a struggle street day for sure. And then we went outside, and it was like the opposite, and you were manic.
Well, because I woke up and it was just sun.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was fantastic. One of the best days ever. Still riding that high. But we didn't go out today.
No,
tomorrow.
No, tomorrow's the day. But that's because we're actually enjoying, the game, Warzone.
Being inside again.
Yeah, I
that.
actually enjoyed playing it. Made some more music and stuff. So, had other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
So should we jump into film review?
Film review.
Should we start with Tiger King?
Tiger King. How far? How deep are we?
We're episode 3. We just finished it.
So we're 3 deep. Yeah. I don't know. It's so crazy. I've watched a lot of movies in my life, and this is the craziest thing I think I've seen, and it's real. It's just so messed up.
Keep talking. I need to check if this is focused.
Jacob is going to check if it's focused. So what are we talking about? Tiger King.
Yes.
It feels weird to talk about stuff when you're just standing there, because now it feels like you're filming me.
Well, I have been this whole time.
And some sort of creepy, kind of show.
80% chance that we're blurry for that first bit, but that's fine.
Only 80%? Take those odds.
Alright.
What were we saying? Tiger King.
Tiger King.
Wild. Crazy.
Yeah. Because you went into it knowing nothing, right?
All I knew is that it was nuts.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, I just heard people talk about it and say it was just crazy. And I heard a couple things where people said that the first 2 episodes were kind of slow and you had to get past that, and then it was good. And then I watched the first 2 episodes and they were absolutely crazy. And the fact that it gets more makes me so excited.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about in words. I don't think it's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm the type of person that can't watch a TV show without doing something else at the same time.
Yeah.
And I mean, for at least the first 2 episodes, I was actually properly hooked into what was happening, which it says a lot. But yeah, I mean, you and I were just saying earlier today that the main character, the actual Tiger King, Joe Exotic, he is every single person at the same time. You couldn't fabricate it and make a film out of it because there are too many plot points.
He's got too many character points, which would normally be your main quirk, your main kind of thing, and he's got 12 of them.
All of them all
at once. Just pile it on each other, and that's our boy Joe.
And then
I'm just
okay, so far, who's your favorite character?
I don't know his name. I feel like we both had the same answer.
Yeah.
Is the dude who
the head keeper, right?
The head keeper, the guy who
he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and he got the job by applying on Craigslist and was just like, yeah, fuck it. I've never done this. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And now he's the head keeper. Because what was the quote?
The quote is, how many wives do you think the other guy has? And they're going, maybe 3 or 4.
Maybe 9 or whatever. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
I just don't give a fuck. Yeah. They kind of cemented him as easily the most likable character because he seems the most normal.
Because that's a normal person answer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because everyone else is just
insane.
Yeah. Because who the 3 mainies who it's really showed is Joey Boy. What's your name? Carol, and then Doc. And I don't know. There's just so much going on with Doc that's so toxic.
Well, so I think, I think we should talk about the main characters a bit more, but I think everyone in that show, except for the head keeper, is insane because you've either got Joe, who's wild, Carol, who is a whole thing.
Seems deranged.
Doc runs a cult.
Yeah.
And every single one of his wives is definitely in the most like abusive relationship. They've got no idea that's even happening.
Yeah, Stockholm for sure.
It's insane. And then the person who seems really grounded, the other keeper who had their arm cut off, I think the fact that they are way too chill about their arm being cut off.
It was ripped off by a tiger.
And they just no response.
No,
like, this is fine. Yeah. Back to work.
For me, the craziest dude is a dude with no legs.
Why is that?
Because he's got clowns on his fake legs.
Yeah, right.
Who would do that? Psycho.
Now, he does seem fairly normal-ish.
Yeah.
But even so Carol's got a cult as well. I mean, all of her volunteers, they are just so Karen, mum.
Yeah, the Karen vibes coming from that whole crew.
Violent Karen vibes.
They're like an army of just complaints.
Just mums.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
But like not cool mums.
No, mums that own cats. The crazy cat ladies.
Yeah.
That are just like, they've got a crazy cat lady queen.
But they just happen to have tigers.
Yeah. Well, the ultimate cat.
Yeah.
The alpha. And then, what, if you don't turn up for your volunteer shift, she'll kill you and bury you under the septic tank.
Is that... Yeah.
Spoilers.
Is that kind of the underlying theme, though? Is that, like, the classic stereotype that cat people are crazy?
Mm-hmm.
And these people are cat people, but to the apex predator of cats is the tiger.
Yeah.
So that means that they are cat people plus 12 kind of vibe.
Yeah,
right?
I think that is it.
That's definitely it, right? That's why everything is so much... is like... in the extreme. Everything they do is in the extreme.
Well, I think it's hilarious. I mean, every single person that I've heard talk about this show, they've always said, they've described Joe Exotic as this person that has 1,000 different people crammed into him and that he's still the most normal person. And you can kind of see it when you've got the cult leaders, because it's those three, right? And Joe doesn't run a cult. Like, it seems to be that he actually does treat his animals the most humane compared to the other two, I think.
And his staff, too. I mean, he pays them like garbage, too, but, like...
At least he pays them.
At least he pays them and doesn't sleep with them all.
Yeah.
So I feel like he wins over the other two, just based purely off of those two factors.
Because was the second husband someone who came to volunteer, or was he just someone who came to visit?
Joe?
Yeah.
I think it was someone who came to work there, who's kind of showed up, you know, like... and then he was like, hey...
Sexual harassment. Do you watch porn?
Do you watch porn? And
what kind of porn do you like?
How straight are you? Well, you're not that straight.
Straight up marries him.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
It's baller.
so epic. Yeah, no, I think it's strange how they are all just in... I mean, it's a testament to how much I think they can't handle relationships because they're all married to each other or finding young people, young virgins, as they say.
I mean, well, they have all said that keeping that many tigers and stuff is like literally a lifestyle. It can't be a job.
Yeah.
So you live and breathe.
So you attract that kind of people.
So the only people they'd ever be around is the other people at the park.
I mean, I just always think about like Joe's first husband, when the way he responds to the second husband being brought on.
Shrugged, right?
He shrugs and he goes, I didn't care at the time or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. He says something that suggests that he's not cool with it.
Well, he didn't say... It seems like... It's not like the way you'd expect it, because the way that they're married is they're literally all three names are on the certificate.
Yeah.
It's not like Joe's married to him and him. It's they're all married as a three.
Well, they say that, but then in the ceremony, he's in the middle and he kisses them both, and they don't kiss each other.
That's what I was about to say. That's exactly like the point I was getting at. Is like, technically it's a three-way thing, but it's not.
It's not.
It's a Joe's here, and the other two guys are just underneath, and they
never shows.
And they never interact.
No.
They're there, but they never talk to each other. Mm-hmm. It's wild.
And the same with old mate. He's got each of his wives in separate houses.
Oh, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder how much they love being married to each other.
Oh, I'm sure they love it. Of course they would.
epic.
Ridiculous, man. I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
I love this show.
because the last episode that we watched was the whole unpacking of Carol and the murder and stuff.
The disappearance. There's no proof of anything. Let's not pick sides.
Do you think she did it?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. I think she did it for sure.
Yeah. I this is going to be a really weird sentence to say and probably hear back, but I agree with Joe. Check the septic tank.
Yeah,
Right? Check underneath the septic tank.
I agree. But I also think they did a really good job at being... the police aren't doing anything. And then it cuts to Joe. These tigers can digest anything. And then it goes to the other guy. Tigers can't digest bones. And, we would have found evidence of bones and meat and things, but we didn't.
And then it cuts to the meat grinder.
And then we have the meat grinder. And then it cuts to Carol going, oh, it'd be crazy. You couldn't put a hand in there. It's not big enough for that. And you're literally, mincing an entire cow.
Yeah. And every time Carol was on screen at that point, it's the slow zoom going into her face that just makes her look like she's nuts.
They do a great job at making her deranged. I mean, my favourite shot that they do with her is the slow motion she's walking. Like she's some kind of angel of death.
Yeah. And she's always wearing her leopard print pants or whatever. And
Well, because with that shot, when we were first introduced to her, it kind of makes her seem like the kind of... It paints her as the hero. As the grounded person who's come to liberate all the cats. But now it just makes her look insane.
Because the way she paints herself is like... Joe and Doc, they paint themselves as they run like essentially a zoo.
Yeah.
And they're like... And that's what they call it. That's what it is. Blah, blah, blah. Everything else, sweet. She paints it as a sanctuary. It's exactly the same thing. She's doing nothing different. She's
a hero. And
the only thing she's not doing is paying her staff.
Yeah.
Because she's breeding as much as they are. They're all in cages. I just... Wild.
It's a fantastic show. You couldn't make a movie out of it.
No, because it would be unbelievable.
There's too much happening. It'd be incomprehensible.
At that point, it would just be a sci-fi because it's so ridiculous. It's so, non-grounded. You may as well just call it Star Trek, because it's like, it's not real.
Yeah, I mean, it'd have to be a full season as well.
Oh, God. Like Lord of the Rings length.
Yeah.
Like extended versions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Joe's just someone who's had the ring on for too long. He's just insane.
He's Gollum, but add another 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It's so much.
Yeah. I've got nothing to say about Tiger King other than it's so much better and so much more than I thought it would be.
Yeah. That's. I feel like I had a point to say, but I don't. It's just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm super excited for when we're done this to watch more.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Straight into it.
Yeah.
Should we cut to the other thing? Other show? Other film?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So last night as well, we watched the platform. It just came up on the feed, and the trailer started playing.
I watched it. It's been up there for like a week.
Okay.
It's been popping up on my homepage on the old Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched the trailer. Thought it seemed interesting, but didn't want to put it on. And then last night you saw the trailer, and you were just like...
First 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Instantly.
The initial shot, and I was like, cool, let's do it. Because I was... Yeah. And what a ride.
Yeah.
I think conceptually it's one of my favourite movies I've ever seen.
I think...
Just as a pure concept-based thing, just the idea of the way the prison worked, the way the system was, I just thought that was so interesting.
So, spoiler-filled review / premise.
Super spoiler-filled at this point, right? Yeah.
So, it's essentially... It is a prison, and it's not a prison, because the main character goes there voluntarily. But the idea is you have a prison where each floor has 2 cellmates, and they're all stacked on top of each other, and they're all connected by this hole that runs through the center of each room, all the way from the top of the complex to the bottom. Mm-hmm. And there's no side rails, there's no guard rails, so you can fall in and whatever. And the idea is that every day you have a platform that comes down the hole and the center, stopping at each floor
on the way down.
The way down. So it starts at the top, goes to the bottom, and then when it gets to the bottom, it just flies up. and it has just enough food for every person to have exactly what they need to survive. And that's all the food that is there. And so, you get the first 50 floors, so that's 100 people, and they will just engorge themselves on the food. And then anyone below floor 50 will get scraps. Anyone below floor 100 is just essentially issued a death sentence.
Yeah.
But then there's 2 catches, where one, every month, the cellmates change rooms. So you just wake up on a different floor.
Yeah.
So you could be on floor 1 one day, and then floor 250 the next day.
Yeah.
And so that's why no one rations their food, because you could have been on the bottom floor and now you're just completely anorexic.
And if you are on the top floor, for next month you might be on right at the bottom, so you got to eat while you can kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you stay with the same cellmate unless they die, or if they leave,
Yeah.
or if their sentence is over, or whatever their deal is. Yeah.
So the interesting things are, if you hold on to food after the platform leaves, your room is either heated or cooled. So you either cook or you freeze. So the idea is you cannot keep food to stay alive. You have to eat during that minute. So it encourages people to feed.
Yeah.
And also, any person that goes to the pit, is that what they call it? The hole?
I think they call it the hole.
The hole. When you get sent to the hole, you can take one item with you. There are people with samurai swords. There is a guy with a surfboard. There's a guy with an inflatable pool. You can have anything. But the people that have weapons are at a distinct advantage, because there is no punishment other than holding on to food.
Yeah.
It's the only thing you're punished for in the whole thing.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
So if you're on floor 200 and you're hungry and you both have a weapon, it's about who kills who first so that you can eat the other person.
Yeah. The calmness at which you say that bothers me.
I mean, I was looking at the people in the film jealous that they know what person tastes like. It's surely on the bucket list.
For you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Okay.
I mean, all I'm saying is, if I was in a car accident and I lost a limb, I would ask them to keep it.
You'd ask if you could keep it.
Yeah.
Take it home.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I'll say about that. But...
back to the movie.
Yeah, the platform.
Yeah, so... it's... I don't know, kind of... it follows this one dude who just arrived. He's not there for a prison sentence. He was there... what was he there for?
He wanted to get his diploma.
Yeah. And somehow this was a deal that he
gets like a free ride.
He served his time and he gets his diploma. And I think they said he had 6 months or something.
6 months in the hole.
Yeah. So it sort of follows his kind of journey, and because they don't really know what it is until they're in it. They don't understand what the hole actually is.
Because it kind of alludes to the world's like kind of dystopian future where it's kind of kept on the hush-hush. The administration is what they're called, the government or whatever in power.
Yeah, it's very vague about that, but I feel like it's vague on purpose for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it follows the only person in the hole to volunteer to be there.
Yeah.
Well, until halfway through the film.
Yeah. Yeah. And just sort of follows his learning experience, learning what the place is, how it works.
The people inside.
Just the ruthlessness of the whole thing, I guess. Right?
Because it's a super gory horror film.
Well, I mean, yeah, they don't shy away from
violence,
from the realities of, if this was a real thing, what would people do to survive? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, you dive into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was eye-opening.
I mean, they show how people that have been there for a number of months and have just grown desperate to survive, they'll literally shit on people trying to climb out of their room into the room above for a chance to get more food or escape. Yeah.
Or it's also, there's this weird thing of fairness in terms of I had to be down low for like a certain amount of times, now it's your turn type of vibe. Is that everyone has, we all experience it. So as soon as you're under me, you're garbage.
You are subordinate to the person above you.
Yeah.
And
in charge of the person directly under you. That's kind of just the social vibe that is made.
Well, that's a threat. The main character at one point, they're trying to encourage people to start rationing food.
Yeah.
And he threatens to shit on the food for the people below.
Yeah.
And then the person, his cellmate, says, well, what about the people above? And he said, well, my threat's not going to work. I can't shit on their food.
I can't shit up.
I can't shit upwards.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts off and you're like, okay, well, yeah.
He's right.
Summed it up perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah, but by that point, he changes so quick throughout the movie because he has to acclimate to the reality. Mm-hmm. Especially because of what happened. He's got his first month where he's on floor
48.
48, you've got a good memory.
For useless shit.
Yeah, 48, and then the next one they dropped
to in the hundreds.
100, so there was no food when the platform came down. Literally zero. But as soon as they woke up on that floor, he was tied to his bed. His cellmate, who he started to get along with really well, they were hanging out, all that stuff, had tied him down and was pretty much saying, I'm going to eat you when I'm hungry.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to give you 8 days to purge you, and after the 8 days, I'm going to start taking slices off you. But don't worry, because I'll give you your share.
I'm happy to share you with you.
Yeah.
Which is quite generous if you think about it.
Mm. I mean, he's a nice guy. We'll give him that. But, I mean, even at that point, the main character's kind of unchanged because he's like... The old dude's trying to justify it by saying, well, the people above are to blame because, they forced me to do this.
They're the ones taking all the food.
And he just looks him in the eyes and says, I just want you to know that I still blame you.
Yeah, this is all on you, boy.
Yeah. But then... surprise character jumps in. So there's one character who doesn't follow the rules. Oh, she does, but she doesn't. Where every time she wakes up, she
rides the food truck.
Rides the platform down
after killing her cellmate. She always kills her cellmate first.
Does she always kill the cellmate?
Or she always, because if she doesn't kill the cellmate, I mean she'll get the same cellmate the next month. So she has to guarantee every month she gets a new one. So she kills them and then rides the train down.
Yeah, because she's looking for her child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was watching all of the...
She never speaks too.
Not once.
Not
or
once.
The child.
Child either. They didn't speak.
Mm.
Yeah. She never speaks. She barely has expressions on her face. She's just cold.
And she doesn't mess with people. So she always kills the cellmate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then beyond that, she doesn't get off the platform unless
she's
threatened
or some way, and
which happens a lot.
Yeah,
being a prison with males and females, most of the characters that we meet are male,
and most of them are there for criminal reasons. So they're going to be there for a while. They're desperate, all that type of vibes, and then that's when she.
But then she's a badass character, and so whenever they try something, they just die.
Yeah,
even the dogs.
That was messed up.
It was messed up.
That was messed up. But the whole movie's messed up. That's the whole point.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's definitely not a movie if you're not into the kind of messed up.
Well, it's the perfect final year of high school, let's write a film review type thing. But it's way too gory and way too violent for a high school student.
Because you can really dive into the themes of it, like the communist themes and stuff like that, which are the obvious on the top ones.
Oh, I mean, they literally make the main item of the story for the last 15 minutes a panna cotta dessert. Yeah. Because the idea is they're going to ride the train all the way down so that no one eats it and then deliver it back to the top and just say, hey, look, we're still a society in here kind of thing.
Yeah, we haven't completely fallen apart.
Mm-hmm. Because that's one thing we haven't actually mentioned, the food, the quality of the food.
Oh, yeah. And they're at that, when they all put into the prison thing, they have to say what is their favourite dish of food. Mm-hmm. And then that gets added to the big table. And it's like 5-star kind of...
gourmet food.
Yeah, that's how it starts, obviously. And then as soon as it gets through a few floors, it's a mess.
Because people stand on the table.
Kick it all off.
No one cares about the people below them. I mean, there's a scene for a bit, and it shows the chef's making the food, and the head chef he's looking at the panna cotta, and he's got a single hair that fell into it. He's comparing it against every chef that might have cooked it to punish them.
What I expected, well, not expected, but I wouldn't have been shocked if when he found the guy, if our next scene showed him
in the cell.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at all either.
That's kind of the vibe it gave me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the vibe it gave me that the world is kind of...
Very 1984, punishment is just absolute.
Yeah. People are in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's always someone in charge of you.
Yeah. And that's the whole system of the...
Top down.
Yeah, of the person directly above you is in power over you. Because they get the food first.
Until the very end, when he teams up and decides to deliver the panna cotta.
Mm-hmm. And rides the
platform.
Yeah.
And then he does the classic.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Might have just cut over to the next video.
Did it stop?
It did.
Huh. We up?
Yeah. I like the way it ended, where he gets off the platform
At the bottom.
and he walks, because he's hallucinating the whole film after the guy attacks him.
Yeah, he's hallucinating him for the rest of the film.
Because he dies. The woman who rides the platform down saves him from being eaten, and then he's always haunted by the old man because he consumes him and he's literally inside him.
Yeah, he's a part of him now. Yeah, and then he kind of walks off into the darkness.
With him.
Yeah, and then that's the end.
Mm-hmm. Did you notice that there are 666 people in the prison? Because there's 333 floors. It's very on the nose with the horror there.
Yeah, okay.
So it's literally hell for the people that are inside the hole.
Yeah, which makes sense.
I mean, it's not a nice place.
Nah. Yeah, which is why, like, when I said earlier about it being conceptually one of the more interesting movies I've ever seen. It's just, it's so simple, but it's so bleak.
Because, I mean, with just the setting alone, you immediately know who's in charge of who, based on what level you're on.
Yeah.
And you immediately know the type of person you're dealing with based on what they bring in with them.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy. I mean, having the main character who brings a book, pair him up with the person who brings a weapon.
He brought a knife, like a kitchen knife.
And it's not even I like the fact that it's not a big weapon. It's a concealed, small. You know, he's sneaky because he's a sneaky dude.
Well, the reason he has the knife isn't because he knows he's going to lose a fight. Mm-hmm. He brings a knife because it's easier to cut people up.
Yeah.
When they're tied down, because that's his play, obviously.
And you can't bring a gun because you run out of bullets. Mm. And once you run out of bullets, then you don't have a weapon.
Yeah, and then your item is useless.
Mm. What would you bring in?
I knew you were going to ask this question.
Yeah, well, I only just realised that it's a fantastic question.
I don't know. I feel like you've thought about it.
I have not, actually.
I wouldn't survive.
All right.
No matter what I brought in, I wouldn't survive.
What if you brought a packed lunch?
It would last me an hour.
All right.
But also, if you brought food, then wouldn't your floor heat up?
I don't know.
Cool down?
The rules,
Food's probably not allowed.
Maybe.
It's probably the one thing that you're not allowed to bring.
True. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you won't survive. So what would you take? Because you wouldn't kill anyone, right?
No, I wouldn't be able to. Zero chance.
Even after being on like floor 150.
I wouldn't. There's no way I'd have that in me to do that. Like, it just.
Fair?
Yeah. Yeah, nah, I would. But I mean, obviously, you put someone into that situation. Like, a lot of people would say, I couldn't kill anyone. I couldn't do that. Put someone into a messed up situation. You never know.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, that's...
But I do honestly think that I couldn't. For any kind of purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like you'd do it just to taste
I'm on the first floor.
Yeah. You're on the top floor, there's plenty of food, and you're like, nah, I'm getting people.
I take one of those parkour ladders so I can just maneuver between floors and just take people out. No, I don't know what I'd take.
A ladder.
A ladder's not a bad idea. It's really not a bad idea.
A ladder with a hook on it.
Yeah, with a hook. Because you see them in parkour videos. The only problem is that the people on the floor above wouldn't really let you up.
They'll just kick your
yeah.
ladder out from under you.
But a weapon's not a bad idea in the sense of like just being able to defensive posture people away from harming you on the lower floors is something.
Yeah.
Keeps you in the game a bit longer. And a book, I think a book is dumb because you read it and then, sick, and you're there for a whole month before you switch rooms. So it's going to take you 3-4 days to read a book. Awesome.
Because you got nothing else to do.
And nothing else to do at all. So
Yeah.
taking pen and paper is dumb. And there's no hot points, so you can't take anything electronic.
Yeah, because it would run out instantly.
So I think either you want something that has the most functions. I honestly don't know. Something for next time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to have a real answer to that question. Because if I'm like, hey, I'd take a sword. What am I going to do with a sword?
Looks sick.
I would not look sick with a sword.
I'd take like an Iron Man suit.
That's a great option.
Great option. Not real, because I think you have to own it. It has to be like one of your possessions.
Oh, don't you own an Iron Man suit?
Not an Iron Man suit. I only own
Because I do.
other suits.
Birthday? Same.
Yeah, no, I don't know what I'd take.
Yeah, it's hard because it's impossible to like actually imagine yourself in that situation.
And it's also supposed to be a metaphor for who you are.
Yeah,
So,
and yeah, I feel like I'd cave.
yeah.
I'd cave pretty quick.
A chisel. Shawshank type style.
Okay.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, but if you have a chisel, you need the other part. What is that?
So we'd go in together.
But we may not be. Oh no, we would be.
It depends, because you can choose. Some
Yeah.
people can choose. Because the woman, the only other person that chose, she got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be cellmates with you.
Because you know that I'd just eat you straight away.
Yeah.
Because I'd say, yeah, I'm going to take a chisel in, and I come in with an AK.
You come in with a
meat hook.
You come in with an actual hatchet.
Butcher's knife.
Yeah.
Cleaver.
Like a spear, and you just throw it from across the room.
A full javelin.
Just like Achilles style.
Yeah. Yeah. Portable fridge or a chili bin or something to like keep your body in. Because that is the one food that you're allowed to keep is the people. People that you kill.
So you'd bring a chili bin.
I'd bring a chili bin. No, I don't know what I'd bring. I don't know. Because it has to be a metaphor for who you are, and it's hard to describe what kind of person you'd be in that environment if you are choosing to be there. But I think if you went in there not choosing to be there, and you were going to be there for years, I would take a weapon. But if I was going to be there for a short period of time, like 3 months, I would consider something that's not a weapon, but I can use it defensively.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe a surfboard.
Yeah, I'd probably take an inflatable pool.
It's low key.
Because like
idea.
they were bonding,
Those two guys were just chilling.
and they weren't eating each other either.
No.
They were on a low floor,
Just chilling.
just chilling.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Two
Right.
bros sitting in an inflatable pool.
Right next to each other, because they were naked and probably cold.
That really rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
It's poetry.
Yeah.
All right. So, what would you rate it out of 10?
8.
I'd give it an 8 as well, or an 8.5. Oh, we also didn't mention the whole film is in Spanish, which takes away nothing from the film at all.
Yeah. I feel like it brings more to it,
Yeah.
if anything. Because when something's subtitled, it makes you lock in so much more. Otherwise, you can just zone.
Yeah. For sure.
Because when something's English, you can just be like, hey, what's happening on my phone for 20 minutes?
Yeah.
But you can still hear it. Whereas if it's in Spanish, you're just like,
I'm zoned in.
Yeah.
Every time they say puta,
get?
I'm in. Hey, I understand that word.
Hey.
Fantastic.
Or C.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Another topic.
Topic. Quick.
That's all I have. Being outside, the films, and editing the last video.
Anything else?
No, that's me.
Yeah, I bring nothing to the table.
Fantastic.
You do all the editing. You have all the gear. You provide the topics.
Me who didn't turn the video on for the first half, probably, and if it was on, it wasn't in focus.
Oh, that works perfectly. It's an absolute win.
That's the right level of scuffed
Yeah.
that we're aiming for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The blurrier the picture is, the more likely it is that people will click on it. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I do whenever I'm on YouTube, is I find the blurriest, lowest quality videos.
Although I think if you're someone who's watching the video of a podcast that isn't like the Elon Musk memes, you're an insane person.
Yeah, I've never actually sat through and just watched a podcast without something else happening.
No, you add video to a podcast out of courtesy, out of the click value.
Yeah, well, and like you'll zone in and out while you're
100%.
like, you know, you'll play PlayStation or be wandering around doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to sit there and lock into, 40 minutes of two random dudes talking.
Yeah.
Especially if they're as uninteresting as we are.
What do you mean?
That's a good point.
But yeah. What are we going to watch? What are we reviewing in the next one?
We're going to talk more Tiger King for sure.
Yeah, obviously. Well, I feel like Tiger King can't be the only thing.
No. I mean, we have our list of
films.
And we'll at some point we'll probably watch one either today or tomorrow.
I think we should get the Bond films.
All of them?
On the list. Because I can get them.
Which Bond? Are you meaning all of them? Because
there's
like 95 Bond.
Yeah, but you know that I don't like old films.
Yeah, so Casino through. So I think
is that the first one?
Yeah, it's the first.
Yeah.
So there's like 4, I think, with him.
Yeah.
One of them's really good,
mm.
which is the first one. But yeah, I'm down. I'm down for Bond. There's not a lot to unpack with Bond films, though.
True.
It is like Jason Bourne kind of vibe. It's just...
I haven't seen the Bourne films.
The Bourne film, they're good. The first Bourne film kind of changed the way action movies are filmed.
I heard that, and I heard it wasn't a good change.
It worked for the Bourne films,
yeah.
But then all the copycats didn't work. Because, in like so many action movies, when there's a fight scene, they cut every punch. Like, that's because of the Bourne films, because that's how they film their fights, and it looked great.
Yeah.
Whereas in like so many other like copycat ones, it looks like garbage.
I was thinking that when we watched The Phantom Menace the other day, the Duel of the Fates, Obi-Wan versus Maul, there's no cutting. Well, it's like a CCTV angle.
Well, there is. It's like a good. I feel like it felt longer, but it would have been no more than 20 seconds-ish, maybe, of just a side shot of them fighting.
Yeah.
Just at absolute pace.
Yeah.
And there's no cuts. The camera barely moves. It just is on them, and it's so sick.
Well,
you actually see the choreography properly.
Yeah. And there's an old interview with Ewan, and he's saying that they had to slow the video down because people didn't believe they were moving
they were
so
so good at it. Because they rehearsed it so much and they got so quick.
Yeah.
That's so sick. And that's why it looks so good. That's why that's one of the best fights.
Well, I think that is. So that fight...
And then Anakin Obi-Wan.
Well, I like Anakin Dooku. There's like a 10-second segment when it's just them two, and it's right before he takes Dooku's hands. That segment is good.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the same quality angling.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'll give you that.
And then Anakin Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I think the Maul one is the best one. Because I legitimately think Maul is the coolest
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just so sick. So sick. Yeah. I'm about it.
And that's it.
And that's it.
It's done.